Alrighty, welcome everyone. I'm Teeaboo, and happy Tuesday. It's Wednesday. Shit. Happy Wednesday! I'm here for JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Stone Ocean, episode 28. Last time on JoJo's, we fought Rikiel and his Ronzu, which were very scary as a weapon, but I found Rikiel utterly hilarious as a villain. Just sort of goofy, just like, I'm out here trying to be a horrible, evil, monstrous villain. But my eye keeps closing. Please, Father, please help me. Kind of very goofy. Very, very goofy, and that makes him no less terrifying. And that's one of the crazy things about JoJo's, is you can have a villain who is very silly and very funny, and very often we make silly, funny villains who are not a threat at all in our stories. And in JoJo's, it's the opposite. Rikiel has come, as far as I can tell, kind of the closest to killing all of our characters that almost anyone has for a while. That's one of the magical natures of the weird, bizarre, bizarre stand abilities that these characters are granted. They can be total dorks and still be an absolute threat to your life and well-being. And that's really cool. It's really cool. You can't really judge a book by its cover. You can't judge a stand user by their nature and way of being. You got to judge them by the stand itself, and indeed, in some ways, by their perseverance. And Rikiel demonstrated to us that despite being an absolute loser by by every possible metric, he still had the fire within to light his chemical-fueled torches and blast off into outer space like Apollo 11. He pushed through a whole lot of stuff and got the shit kicked out of him for his trouble in a couple of powerful ways. We found out some interesting things last episode, like, I don't know, Weather Report is the son of Dio. Also, there's a bunch of these sons of Dio who are wandering around doing nefarious things, having been drawn in by Poochie's vibes. And turns out that Sons of Dio is not just a euphemism or a nice catchy title. They are literally children of the vampire named Dio, and they exist. And something about Dio heaven Poochie thing that's happening. I don't even have verbs for it. It's just happening. The thing that's growing, building, creating itself, whatever. I don't know. I don't even have verbs for it. Something about whatever's happening there is causing the Sons of Dio to Poochie and do their thing. And that's what they're doing, which is to kill Jolene and prevent everybody else from coming. And prevent weather, but also not really prevent weather, because it turns out that he's one of them, and his whole mysterious backstory is mysterious, and we don't know how that's going to play out, or what he's going to be useful for Poochie's plans, or Dio's plans, or maybe Jolene's plans, or overall for Araki's plans. So things are wild now. They've been weird and dangerous and weird for a while, but they are utterly wild now, and I don't know where we're going with this, and I'm excited by that fact, because it's JoJo's, and when you get into the place of the absolute no idea where the next direction is, that's when you're found. That's when you're found. That's when you've found your way into the insane world of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Coming up next, Vosses! So I've always really liked the little things where it's like, Mewtwo versus Link. And you can tell that that's the Smash Bros. Voice, because I'm a Smash Bros. Obsessed weirdo. I've always liked those little versus things that popped up. The little, or even the go, fight, those little logos. They've always got like multi-layered colors to them, and I tried to mimic some of that in the drawing that I did, and I always really like those little logos, and the voice actor cues that pop in as well. I wonder if there's a specific name for those things. Little cut-ins, little chops, little beats, little cuts, little things. I don't know, there's probably a name for it, but I really like them. They do something to my brain that makes me happy. It makes me feel like the game is on, it's going, it's a thing. Maybe that's aligned to some extent with my love and adoration for commentators in general. I really like commentary. I spend a kind of ridiculous amount of time just listening to commentators. I never was into sports, and I've never really been into sports, but esports commentary I've always been really intrigued by and really excited by. And I think that blooms out of the Smash Bros. Community as well, from watching a lot of Smash competitions and watching like Scar and Toph and all the different Smash commentators, as well as like Artosis and Tastosis and the StarCraft 2 commentators, and some League of Legends commentary and some Dota commentary. I like commentary more than I like the games pretty often, and I like listening to the commentary far more than I like watching the games pretty often. So there's something about that I've always found really compelling, and the little having the commentator pop in and be like, ready, go, has always done that same sort of a thing to me. I don't know if it's just one of those things that people accumulate as they go through their lives. I feel like people accumulate things that they like, things that they enjoy, things that they vibe with or are associated to. I guess in the same way that the Sons of Dio are getting pulled in by Poochie, but I mean, literally, people find things that they like, and that's one of them for me. Is those little cut-ins of voiceover for video games and commentary in general and all that stuff. So, what the fuck is Versus going to be about? I don't know. I think he's a biker gang writer, but maybe I'm just making that up because things have gotten unaligned in a weird way. He's blonde, and he's been chilling in the bed while everybody else has been out there doing their own things. And during we've had a conversation between Poochie and the character each time for each of these characters as the like establishing for the character. So I'm hoping that we do the same thing here with Versus. And then maybe we'll get some ideas as to what this stand is all about. I don't know if this stand battle ends this episode, but I am committed to only watching the one episode this week for today. Just because of some time frame stuff and some reasons, I'm going to watch one episode today, and I'm not going to let myself get cliffhanged into another episode, he says now. But I'm not going to let myself get cliffhanged into another episode because I got other things to do, and that's totally fine. So we'll see if this one is a quick one and gets resolved in one episode, or if we just get a setup here and get a little bit of theory for what's to come next. I don't know. Let's go ahead and watch the episode of Stone Ocean, and we will have to just find out. So, I've got episode 28 of JoJo's Stone Ocean up and ready to go. It's 0 seconds. There'll be 2 versions, picture in the description, timer on YouTube, beep timer to count you down. Let's get into it. We're ready to go. Just every time she leaves it. Sorry. He's so goofy. Nuts. Nuts. They're going to be coming into the next episode beat to shit. Oh, my aunt! No! You are not. You are not at all. Freaking hand. Ksaw. Shit. Yeah, secrets. Oh, right. He's not a son of Dio. Wait, but he is a son of... Okay. It's more than that. Fuck, it's even worse than I remembered. Shit. But is it... I fucked up. That's okay. I forgive myself for fucking that up. Not just a son of Dio. Priest's younger brother. And maybe in no way a son of Dio. Quite possible. Da, 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 da. Somebody noted that this is yeah, the fire emerges, the beginning of the walk forward, down to the fist, and then up. It's all a call back to the previous OP. It's really cool. Countdown to heaven, 3 days until the new moon. Nothing about verses. $10 by car. Micah! Micah! Hey! Yes! Yeah, actually, holy shit, we're here. Oh my god, Versus is here too. I don't think this is where you're actually gonna settle the score, my girl. My friend, I don't think so. Don't just hold it up. Emporio! Yeah. Way more important, man. Please, God. Yeah. Oh. Choo. Please, God, Emporio. Yeah, if we could get Jotaro on the back burner, that would mean a lot. That would mean a lot. Alright, do we get to meet Versus? Much more sinister. What the fuck? That's a nice meal. How is my cooking? Caviar? Some kind of gelatin? Oh, he is in a chair. Something about that screams like, oh gosh, dude who jumps big things. What the fuck? He's got full hair. The hair's amazing. Yeah, this guy looks like he drives motorcycles. Oh. Gross. He's got perfect pitch, but for taste. Mmm. Is he gonna swap bodies or something? Yeah, is he gonna swap him? This is something weird. Hmm. Michael! Okay, we're right on the edge of finding the priest. Oh. So that's not his power. Also, that's some hella hospital food. Whoa! What? There's a finger in my food. Is that Emporio? Oh, it's Mike! Woohoo! Yeah, check that room. Yeah, check that room. Oh my god! What? He's gone. Dish is weird. Oh, this is freaky. I've got zero theories. This is freaky creepy. Um, um, yeah, there's an active shooter on the loose. Everything's fucked. Hey. Uh-huh. So let's check out the boy. Where's the boy? To the hand out of the goop and the scowl. What the fuck? This is awesome. You don't just jump down empty dark pits. You can't stop her. Oh yeah, you can find out who's in the room. Huh, totally normal name. He totally would, but I don't think that's what's gonna happen. That's what I thought was gonna happen. We're just gonna dig forever. Not even that anymore. All right. I'd put my money on that one. Oh. Don't ever let go. Yeah, she's gonna unravel herself as she goes. Oh, straight out the star. Okay. Emporio's off delivering the. Okay. Yeah. How much of her body can she undo? That's so cool. Very dangerous spoon. Very dangerous spoon. Don't fuck with that spoon. Got bad vibes from that spoon. Can she not? She can't, like, communicate back through the string? Whoa. Whoa, what? She's just on an airplane now. What? What is that? I missed it. It was something world. I don't know what it even said. Oh my god. Whoa. Whoa, what? Uh-oh. Yeah, can you telephone yourself out of here? Where even are you? When are you? I mean, we know when, but how different from now is that? That's so crazy. What's happening? Dude, she's on the other side of a freaking portal. Oh, there we go. That's what I was waiting for. That's so cool. So far away. Oh! Nice. Hey, hey, hey! Away, away! Get away, get away! Shoo, shoo, shoo! Yeah! Gone. What? Phrasing, phrasing! Oh! What? No, 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 totally chillin'. What? Blah, blah, blah. We've driven her off. Yeah. Okay, maybe he just wants to... He really does want to just chill in the hole. And drive her away. Which means that the move for Jolene, somehow she has to intuit that staying is the move. Oh. How did the airplane... Dude, you're pulling him up. What the fuck is that? Whoa, 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 that's Sports Max. What the fuck? It's some weird hallucination shit? Or some justice thing? I mean, it was alright. You kind of sucked, dude. But it's actually Jolene, right? Yeah. Something about this is causing hallucinations. Oh, nice color swap. Oh! Now that's a cool idea. So the ground has a magnetic memory to it? And somehow this stand versus taps into that? A plane crash. And he links those things together? Oh my god. Thank you. Please explain more. Underwater? That's so cool. Just dirt. Honestly, reminiscent of the "Hail to you!" make things out of dirt from the past sort of thing. Oh my god, we're stuck on the plane, all of us, and we know it's gonna crash. Oh no! Oh, thank you. You should have says at this time, but we will just crash. Oh my god. Very good. Good, good. Seat backs and tray tables in the full and upright position. What exit? No, I think if you die here, you really die. But maybe it's just, it's made of earth. What? You didn't see a plane in the hole, really? Excuse me, please just chill and wait for your death. Oh. 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 Oh, thank you. Recorded by the Earth underwater. That's so cool. What's up? How's your neck? Things have to play out. Really? Now that's interesting. Totally inconspicuous. They're at the hospital. Holy shit. Whoa. Truth is the truth. It's already happened. Okay, man. Yeah, you seem to have it. Ah! Alright, I'll go start downloading the next one. Fine, 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 fine. Fine, fine, fine. No, I really can't. I really don't have the time. Shit. It's okay. I'll make the time. I'll make the time. Ugh. Ugh. Yeah. What? What? All right. So my first mistake was I definitely messed up. I thought for some reason I thought Weather Report was just a son of Dio, and it's far worse than that. Far more sinister. I have no idea what it is about this guy, this character, that just rings particularly to me. He's so somber and like doesn't seem to really care about Poochie at all. His outfit is almost it's a daredevil's outfit is what it makes me think of. I don't know if it's Knievel. That's got all the Star Spangled stuff on it. I don't know. His outfit and his whole getup has some strange associations for me. All the straps and stuff. It's a really cool design. It's really interesting. And then the hair, the sideburns that come down low, it all clicks as something to me too, but I don't know what. Ah, I don't know what. This whole opening sequence where he, like, Gordon Ramsay style, tells everything that's possibly in the dish, it's almost out of something like Shokugeki no Soma, where you've got Erin Nakiri, who's got, like, the perfect taste bud thing, and she's got the god tongue and is able to tell exactly what's in any dish. Fucking wild. Absolutely wild. And this is all for Poochie to determine that this guy's got the same taste as he does? What is that for? What is Poochie going for here? I thought he was, like, trying for some sort of strange, like, intricate trick or trap, Kirayoshi Kage style swapping of bodies. Nobody will be able to tell. Or maybe like a transference of energy so that Jolene and crew end up chasing down the person who feels like it's the priest, but really the priest is going that way and this guy's going that way. As is, I have no idea why this character is in any way the way that this character is. And the whole sequence is so, like, slow and deliberate and particular. It makes him super duper weird. Rikiel had a strange contrast to him from the beginning, which was that he's a very dangerous stand user who's very goofy in his mannerisms. This guy is very serious in his mannerisms, very calm, cool, collected, it seems. But that seems to belie, as we see in the scene much later, where he's like, "Shut the fuck up! You're bothering me. You're getting in my head." It seems to belie an under person who's like a little bit weirder than that. Underworldo. Also, the bright blue eyes and the blonde hair and the sideburns and the weird jackets and the weird stuff that I haven't seen my ability yet. What am I going to do? And now he gets it, man, and it's a weird way to reveal that ability as the kid pops out from your dish and shoots stuff. What the fuck? At this point in the episode, the mystery is one of the most compelling. It's really one of the most compelling that I've seen so far in the story. It's like totally no idea what's happening. No idea how that happened. No idea what's going down. And it ends up being relatively simple. A big hole in the ground and the ability to unearth from underworld the memories of the earth. Now that is a cool fucking idea to me. The idea that there's something about the state of being of the world that records all of the actions that occur on the world is something really cool to me. Because it's an idea that I think is grounded in relativistic like core physics. If particles just move in deterministic ways, they don't. But if they did, then you could, from the present state and direction of every particle in the universe, infer all of the history of the universe. So every interaction, every action, every bit of everything would have some record to it, because every action and every interaction has some ripple effect outward. The fact that I'm speaking these words is recorded on a digital piece of technology. It's recorded on my computer, and it's going to be converted into a different format and put into a cloud server online where YouTube will distribute it out to you. But even if the microphone wasn't there and I wasn't recording, the idea would be like, if I say apple out into the world, and I just say the word apple, well, to our estimation, to our sensorium, that word disappears rather quickly. I say it out into the world, apple, and it's gone milliseconds later, having traversed around my room, and the sound waves have bounced around and become mashed up with the dude mowing his lawn out there, and the general hum of my computer, and the electromagnetic hum of my lights, and all the different things that are going on. It all just becomes a wash, and that sound is gone. But if things are purely deterministic, there's some inclination that you could determine backward from the state of things, because the entire state of everything would be shifted slightly, very, very slightly, by the microscopic vibrations of me saying apple, and those would be, to some extent, in some weird way, recorded by the state of existence, and would stay there in some sense. And you could even get to them in reverse from the future. And so there's like a state memory of the universe that incorporates all of the interactions and all of the things. Now, one issue with this is that you can say, well, that might be true for things that have a dramatic shift, but often there are lots of micro interactions that happen between the two dramatic shifts that just get collapsed. Those complexities get collapsed, right? So it's like, it doesn't really matter about what every individual peon, serf, and slave, soldier, every individual in the Roman Empire did. What matters is that the Roman Empire rose and fell, and basically everything in between that doesn't really matter. The big impact occurred, but all the individual tiny stuff in between doesn't really matter. It could have been yes or it could have been no, but it didn't really contribute to the overall yes-no of the bigger binary. Everything gets sort of collapsed into that. And so you lose fidelity, you lose some of the detail. It's like compression. Historical compression would be the term for it, I guess. I just made that up. And I think that tracks with some of the way that we view history. Some things have an impact and a lot of things don't, and most of the lives of most of the humans that have ever existed are totally forgotten. And most of the times that they all said apple out into the world, nobody remembers, and nobody will ever remember, and nobody will ever look back to remember, so it doesn't really matter. And did it really happen? It's hard to say. It's hard to say. It's sort of tree falling in a foresty. You don't know whether it happened because it hasn't been recorded in memory. The idea here is that the Earth itself has that kind of a memory, and it's in the magnetic fields, perhaps, of the Earth itself. I love it. I love it as an idea. It's such a great sci-fi seed, I think. As a seed of an idea, I think it's really fascinating. It reminds me of I think there's an episode of Stargate SG-1, or maybe Stargate Atlantis. I don't remember. It's an episode of Stargate. Maybe I'm totally wrong. Maybe it's an episode of Star Trek. I think I might have conflated them in my mind. It might be an episode. No, it's an episode of Star Trek Deep Space Nine, where they go to this planet and there's this happy population there, but a very like limited population, and it's kind of weird, and they're not certain why things are the way that they are, and the place is strange, and it turns out that they're all like hollow recordings of people, but they're sentient. They live lives and they think that they exist, and they're just recordings of people, and there's one real person amongst them, and the rest of them are all hollow recordings. That sort of idea, you go to a planet, and then upon the planet you meet all these people and all this stuff, and it turns out that they don't exist. They're the memory of what has become like a sentient planet that's just creating these emergent facsimiles of things that have happened there before in order to trick you or be nice to you even, or whatever. Some of that could be linked to Stanislaw Lem's book Solaris, which is about a planet, is interesting. Or Michael Crichton's book Sphere, which has something to do with memories and ideas becoming real. Either way, there's a lot of interesting sci-fi around ideas that are semi-tangentially related. And all of that, to me, brews this pretty fleshed out idea of what if the Earth could record things, or what if there was something unknown that was like a ticking tape recorder recording existence and recording the nature of things. And I think it's a really stellar idea. I think it's a very fucking cool, utterly fun, super interesting, scientifically plausible, at least somewhat, concept that has really interesting ramifications and ends up being intriguing to speculate about and just to observe. And for Araki to come up with that as just a stand user here, it's fucking baller. And then to introduce it in such an interesting and to me compelling way that really holds the mystery out, and I would say drags it along, but it doesn't feel like it drags along. It's interesting and fascinating at every step. What is happening in every moment? Unclear. When Jolene picks up the spoon, and he works in all these like potential alternate theories that are wrong. Jolene picks up the spoon and is somewhere else, right? And so that immediately makes me think of oh shit, it's a Blood Hunter ability in D&D, in Matt Mercer's Blood Hunter. It's Grim Psychometry. When you reach 9th level, you gain a supernatural talent for discerning the secrets surrounding mysterious relics or places touched by evil. If you touch a thing, you might have brief visions of the past connected to the object or location. So you find a thing, you find an evil spoon, and you pick up the evil spoon, and you go, and you go, brrr, and you see the evil vampire using the evil spoon to drink blood or whatever, to scoop blood out of a victim's neck, right? Whatever. You see the strange thing, and so she picks up the spoon, and suddenly she's on the airplane in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of a cave with Poochie and Verse is just watching. Nuts. Absolutely nutty bonkers. Such a cool idea, and so cool to me that whether it's intentional or not, all of these other possibilities get woven in to my estimation of what the thing might be. And I'm sitting here theorizing and thinking, what could be going on? What's happening to Jolene here? What's the situation? What are the rules of the stand ability? What's the particular portion of the Ruliad inhabited by this ability? And the answer is super unclear as we move through, and it's awesome. It's awesome to me that it's so unclear and that we get all these unknowns. Little wings on its hips, super strange. It's super like matter of fact. The scene where he just begins bleeding out his neck and then covers it up is very silly to me. Just nope. I'm all good. Everything is well. Just have a pen through a crucial bit of blood vessel. Very weird. Very weird. Man, Poochie's patience is crazy. How many more hallucinations can we get? Because popping Sports Max out of the thing, is that intentional by the thing? Is it consciously working to create these hallucinations? I think some of them, absolutely. I think the plane idea is we want to trap Jolene and Hermes on a plane so that they crash in the plane, and what happens in the memory happens in reality to some extent, and they get really dead. So then is it consciously choosing to have Sports Max come out and fuck with Hermes? I have no idea. The Earth records the past. It records every detail. It unearths memories. Super crazy rad. And this is some insane horror. Just a character telling you about how their body fell apart as their skin actually vaporizes from them and you can start to see the musculature underneath. Oh, ooh, that's spooky. Ooh, that's nice and spooky. How the hell do we get out of here? Now that we're in a separate memory space, maybe we'll figure out some way of making, using the stand to defeat the stand, but I don't know. Yeah, actually, that is a question. Can you force it to evoke or create memories without Versus's knowledge or direct intent? Like, can Jolene forcibly pop a memory of something that happened in Green Dolphin Prison into the stand? I have no idea. So I'm fascinated. So I'm going to do exactly what I said I would not do. Absolutely. 100%. Could not do. Would not do. No matter what. Well, I will not get cliffhanged into another episode. He said 40 minutes ago, and he was wrong. I'm about to get cliffhanged into another episode. I'll see you in a second for episode 29 of JoJo's Stone Ocean. Peace. Okay, we're right back to it, and we're going to watch episode 29. I've been effectively cliffhangified by an intriguing stand and a cool battle, so let's see how we play this one out. I figure and I hope that it will end in this episode. I definitely will not get cliffhanged into another one because I actually won't have the time. Beep timer for episode 29. Let's get to it. What you gonna do if you really don't wanna dance? Standing on the wall. Both. Sanin? You can sense the other one. Yeah. Well, they're not out here. We will be crashing in 3 minutes. So creepy how casual that is. Hopping out this plane, man. Yes! Rapid decompression. Hold on tight. That's it, Hermes. Ha. Ha! Oh, just full memory space. Yeah. Oh. Just gonna get whipped through a bunch of different memory weird spaces. Whoa. Hold on, Hermes. Nah. Jolene is lost in the memories. Oh. Ah. Oh. Oh. Her ally now. She's gonna call him Boreal on the phone that she gave him? Yeah, again with that. Eh. He's got some weird attitude problems. A little swappy. Who will she call on the walkie-talkie? Emporio? I think so. I I really like this OP. It's been solidly in my like mental jukebox rotation for the last couple of weeks. It's been stuck in there. Hmm. We're gonna find out more about the lad. Uh, you're walking around on as a thief. Sentencing. No. Oh. Ah. Oh. They fell out of the sky and hit me in the head. And they thought, you son of a bitch. Yeah. Wow. It's all fate too. Because they didn't care about you at all. Holy shit. Oh. Well, that sucks. This guy's got a rough fucking life. Huh? Oh, fun. This horrible stand that's been cursing me this whole time. Yeah, he really resents Poochie, I think. Yeah. Chigo. Wow. Deeply resentful and destructive. I didn't do anything. Are ya? Is that true? There was that similarity thing. He wants the power? Whoa. Oh, buddy, 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 buddy. A disco. He can unbury a memory. Thank you. Yeah. You died. I don't. Everything. Yeah, I'm in a hole in an airplane. A what? Oh, dude, Emporio's whole ability has to do with ghosts of the past. Huh? Yeah, what? What am I supposed to do about this? Just calm down. I'll be right there. That's not how the memory goes. Because it didn't explode until it hits the ground. The facts are the facts. Oh, we can manipulate the memories themselves. So people who don't die won't die. What? Ghost computer bullshit. Did they? Yeah. She sure does. He sure does. He's so mad. Oh, far back. Less than a minute away. It sure is. Can it even do that? Won't it? Won't it happen regardless? Nice. Won't you just get sucked into another memory? You're gonna have to pull the existing people out. Fuck. Hi. Yoink. Hey. You don't exist. What is going... Is that the kid who got shot? What? Oh shit, we're just yoinking people from the hospital in order to kill them and prevent our characters from surviving. Holy shit, yeah. Innocent bystanders. Innocent bystanders. Wow, hostages of a different sort. If you can. If you can. Hey! But your minds will be destroyed. I mean, you're the one who tied them to the train tracks, man. This guy sucks. Even Poochie's sitting there like, damn. Damn, this guy's kind of cruel. Yeah, it's gonna go down. Oh, boy. Well, yep, you're in my seat. Oh, they're so sweet. Oh, that's so fun. Tick, tick. Endless 8 style. Bagoom. Well, I guess we lose. I guess we fucking lose. Back up against the wall. We all die. Bagoom. Victory is mine. Uh-huh. Ha 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 ha. Nothing is your fault, is it, Versus? And it was all for you. Resent. God, he sucks. Hey. With a sticker on him, too. What did you do, Hermes? Oh. What? Well, survivors don't die. She gooped them together and hid the kids inside? Sweet. Oh. Huda. So where's Jolene? Cause I wouldn't count on it. She could have turned to string and gone inside the seats. Oh, she went fully inside her? Got him. Alright, where did you hide all the strings, Jolene? Dude, we're right in front of Poochie now. Uh-huh. Hid inside Hermes' body. Wow. Busted. Yare yare da. Indeed. You tried to kill some kids, dude. You fucked up. He's gonna be like, it wasn't my fault. It wasn't my fault. Gah. Gacha. Whoosh. We're gonna tag team this? Oh my god. We could try, man. He's so nonplussed. He doesn't care at all. Again with the Destiny shit. You suck, Versus. I want them to thwackety thwack like a punching bag from both sides. Oh, using it to his advantage. Weather's right up there. It was through the memory, dude. No, he doesn't understand. And you don't understand what he's gonna do either. Yes, you are, you son of a bitch. Holy shit, he's gonna screw everything up. It must. Until the end. Truly. Oh, he read it. No, that I get. But I don't know what kind of enemy he'll be either. Yeah. His demonic powers. Gong, clong. Uh-huh. A shack made of straw. Huffity puff. Dude, we're in endgame now. It's heavy weather. That's the weather report album. Crackling lightning. I got nothing. I got no nothing about that. What the fuck? Woo! I love Hirohiko Araki. I love this shit. Heavy weather. versus is screwing everything up by being a resentful son of a bitch. Nothing is my fault. Everything is someone else's fault. And who the hell do you think you are, Father Poochie? You think you're better than me just because you're better than me? Huh? Oh my goodness. So insane. I love how pissed and douchey he becomes over the course of the episode. Just how absolutely teeth gritted, resentment filled, hateful all over. And we get the backstory and it makes perfect sense. The world has been unfair to him and he turns that unfairness back out into hatred for himself and others, becomes a twisted mess, and moves away from society. Unfairly and unfairly and unfairly, and that's about right, I think. But it's important to remember that that doesn't justify anything, does it? Because we've seen, well, Jolene, for example, as a character who's been trod upon and destroyed by various elements of the world, still gets up, aims herself in a positive direction, and keeps moving. So we have a foil, we have a very different result from similar circumstances. Things around you unclear and uncertain and scary and freaky, and people keep acting unfair towards you, and you become a resentful monster who runs away from society, or you become a strong hero who stands up against what's wrong for what's right. Whether that's easy to tell or not, still try. So all the excuses in isolation seem valid. And they are. It's like, yeah, yep, you've been hurt a bunch. Yep, that really sucks and is super unfair and is incorrect. But then, the attitude that comes out of it, it's all the world's fault and none of it's mine. It's all other people being malicious and malevolent and evil and cruel to me for no reason. And so, that justifies my own evil. That justifies everything that I would do. Finally, my power awakens, and I realize that I have the ability to cause harm to others, and so I will. So I'll throw kids in the way. So I'll throw anyone under the bus, because that's the way the world has worked, right? That's the way the world has worked for me. It's the way that it's worked on me, so why not, right? Why not be a murderous, evil, resentful, hateful monster? Fuck this shit. Well, we have the alternative. The alternative is represented quite clearly, I think, by our main character, by Jolene. And by other JoJo's before her. Some negative things have occurred to some JoJo's before, and they've gotten up and kept going. It's part of the story. It's part of the human story. Part of the right story, I think. I like it. I like it. I like it. I like this, too. The eye. Watching, always looking behind him, side-eyeing Poochie continuously. Don't, what makes you think you're so much better than me? Getting really pissed, and in his pissedness, he finds the underworld version of the disc and uses that to read the memories on it. So he knows, more than any of us know, what and who Weather really is, and what, as he says, demonic powers will awaken within him when his memories are returned. Okay, it's a cool moral conundrum, and a cool resolution. It's a dastardly evil play for Voss's to do this child gambit, put these young kids in the way. And it's a very, very high tension, high stakes, fun reveal that through some manipulation of their powers, our characters manage to survive this. God damn it, I'm getting the hiccups. And they make their way out and find themselves squared off 2v1 against the priest himself. And he's very clear to verses here. You really don't know what you're doing, man. You don't have a fucking clue. But I think this all should be good overall. You know, he says, it must stay with me for 3 days, but there's this fate thing that's going on, right? And it's like, I feel like the actions of each of the sons of Dio, versus included, are linked into that fate thing in some sense. Even with all the resentment and the cruelty, that's an element of Dio too. That's an element of this whole circumstance. So I feel like if Father... Oh my gosh. If Pucci has real faith in this circumstance and in what's going to happen, then he should have faith that no matter what happens, no matter how he is betrayed by those with him, no matter what unforeseen circumstances arise, it will all lead to the generation of heaven regardless. And so it's interesting how pissed he gets here. And then heavy weather, demonic rainbows, and lightning crackling in his eyes. Fascinating. Okay, I'm going to go take a quick break and use the bathroom. If my hiccups don't subside, then I won't do the recording for the manga reading right now. If they do subside, I'll be back in a second, so I'm not sure if I'll be back in a second or not. I guess maybe I'll come back and I'll let you know. So, be back in a minute. Peace. All right, welcome back. It's about half an hour later. I think that things that have been going badly have subsided, and so I'm going to give it a shot and try to read some of this at least. We're starting with a new volume. It is 3 days to the new moon. Nice. About Superpowers, Part 2. Also, what is Araki wearing there? That's pretty interesting. What are you wearing there, man? I don't know. The other day, I bought 5 CDs. The musical genre went from jazz to rock and R&B, all from different artists. However, when I read the text on the albums, I noticed that the producer was always the same. A guy named Antonio L.A. Reid. What were the chances I'd took these 5 CDs? It made me think about the same kind of miracle which would result in a royal straight flush at poker or winning the lottery. A divine revelation, you could say. Or perhaps 3 objects tinking their way over to Pucci's feet, or 3 destined sons of Dio all finding their way into Pucci's clutches, or Jolene and Weza and Pucci and all these other characters all aligning toward Cape Canaveral like Apollo 11 sort of thing. Yeah, a divine revelation, you could say. But at the same time, if we take a mathematical viewpoint, we know that those interesting phenomena are generally the result of genuine coincidence, and that we, as people, we impose meaning and logic upon the coincidences and randomness of the chaotic world that we live in. At least that's one theory. It always feels, and the pure mathematicians would say that this is simply a mistake of being human, a mistake of our pattern recognition systems. It certainly feels like some things align based on some kind of fate or truth or inevitability. But do they? It seems to be unprovable. Who knows? Anyone who's ever played a tabletop role-playing game like Dungeons & Dragons, the one that I'm the most familiar with, knows that there's some miraculous storytelling power in the dice. Do I have a die? I think I have No, I don't. I don't have a die near me. I should always have a random generator near me. There's some kind of miraculous storytelling power in those dice. They've got a will of their own, and sometimes they make story beats happen that you're like, well, that couldn't have happened without some serious intrigue and something eternal watching over. But maybe it could have, and maybe it's just as likely that outcome happens as any other outcome on the die. It just so happens that because of that one unlikely outcome and this one unlikely outcome coming into alignment together, things seem to have some kind of fate or justice or truth behind them, but in reality it's all chaotic randomness. Is it one or is it the other? I think if you're a storyteller, it's always the other. It's always narrative. It's always fate or destiny or something like that. And it's very, very difficult to remove yourself from that. There's something about Douglas Adams' writing, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy's author, is that frequently he toes this line between what might be fated or inevitable and what seems to be utterly, truly chaotic and random. And often will present an event as being utterly, truly chaotic and random. In fact, potentially the least likely thing that could possibly happen, and then demonstrate somehow through some weird twist of fate that historically, or based on the nature of the universe and the way that all the things lined up, it was really quite inevitable that that thing would happen, and impossible that it might happen otherwise, as improbable as it might be. It's a fun line to tell. It's a cool little insight into Araki's brain as he picks up some CDs and looks at them and finds out that they're all produced by the same person, and he goes, wow, maybe there's something divinely interesting about that. Maybe there's something real and true about the fate behind this thing. Moreover, who the hell is Antonio L.A. Reid? Antonio Marquis L.A. Reid, an American record executive, A&R representative, and record producer. Founder and served as co-chairman of Hitco Entertainment. Was married to a person named Pebbles between 1989 and 1996. Record labels: LaFace Record, the Island Def Jam music group, Epic Records. Harvard-educated record executive. Interesting. With business partner Babyface. Cool. This cover's pretty cool. The snails are weird. I like the background. Just this sort of blank gray with the little red dots all over it. It's sort of stark and interesting, and it puts the characters on a weird grid. I don't know what to think about that. I like the little purple strands. As always, they're immaculately drawn. Shaped and shaded. The snails are weird. I don't know what's going on with the snails. Reminds me of Giorno in some weird ways. Spirally. Interesting. I don't know. Jolene Cujo, 3 days after her escape from Green Dolphin Street Prison, 10 hours by car to Cape Canaveral, Florida, in the city of Orlando. We're close. We're really close. He's staying put for now. He hasn't started to move yet. 3 days until the new moon. He's over in this direction. Be careful. There's no mistake. The priest is somewhere over here. Hurry! Get surgery room 3 ready. See, consistency. They all have deep South accents. The patient is an 8-year-old girl. She's in critical condition. Mike! Wait, what? An 8-year-old girl named Mike? Okay. Are you her parents? Please leave everything to us and stay in the waiting room for now. Hey, Jolene, you say the priest is over in this direction, but this place is the fucking hospital. You say that he's in here? Aru, he is. I don't know why he would be here, but I'm going to finish this now. Emporio, I have to ask you a favor. That disc that I gave you, my father's memory disc, I want you to give it to the Speedwagon Foundation. If you call them, they'll come to retrieve it from you. I want to go too. I know, but you have to give them the disc first. Poochie should know that we're close, too. I can't be the one who holds on to it until the SPW guys come. This is important. I don't want to be separated from you, so here's a cell phone that I stole from Rikiel. What? Just gonna give him a stolen phone that's attached to the bad guy? And little chew. Hey, move it! You're in the way! Caution, reversing, caution, reversing. It's like all the ends to all the things. That's the same ambulance. It's amazing that it's not the Japanese ambulance, but we imported it. That ambulance saw through all of its service time in the service of Moriocho and was bought up by the cheapskates in Orlando, Florida, who needed more amber lamps for their overflowing hospital system. That's my headcanon. That's the same ambulance. Okay. Caution, reversing, beep, beep. Keep on going. You're good. They just keep getting worse. Who are you talking about, Weather? Wait, what? Oh, okay. That's not in context. Odd. Is it Jolene who's coming? Or are you talking about the priest? No. I'm talking about 3 people, honestly. Jolene, the priest, and another one. There are 3 people near us. But none of them have encountered the priest yet. I want to find him first. Search. Where could he be? Is he inside a building? Excuse me, Versus, but I want to hear your opinion about this food. Just take a bite. I want you to eat it. All right, so there are some unbelievable things that happen in JoJo's. You get sucked underground and some weird memory shit from the past happens. You have to relive events. All the fictional characters from all the books in all the world get popped out of their stories and into the real world and start rampaging and causing havoc. Look, I can believe any of that shit. But sometimes Araki throws in some things that are just impossible to believe. And one of them is that any hospital, anywhere on this side of any line that you choose anywhere would serve food that looks like that. Fucking delicately placed little shrimps and caviar on top. Also, hold on, this whole thing is to question whether there are shellfish in the dish, right? Shrimp are shellfish, right? Am I wrong? I think they are. So you already know the answer because they're right on top, man. Is a shrimp a shellfish? Are shrimp shellfish? Well, people with shellfish allergies can react to shrimp, so yes. And they are crustaceans, which have a lot of the problem. But there are two groups of shellfish, because there are the crustaceans, shrimp, prawns, crab, lobster, and then there are the mollusks or bivalves, which are totally different creatures, clams, mussels, oysters, scallops. Totally different, massively different in how complicated they are, and, like, one set of the creatures has legs and the other one doesn't. One of them has, like, a nervous system that's at least approximates a more complicated nervous system, and mussels and scallops and oysters don't. They're one muscle as far as I know. Two valves. So weird. It actually raises an interesting question, which is, are the people who often have shellfish allergies to, like, shrimp, crab, lobster also often allergic to clam, mussels, oysters, scallops? And what is it about those two seemingly super distinct groups of creatures that causes allergies of the same sort and that we group together so frequently? It's sort of stupid. It's like genuinely kind of stupid that we take one group of things that are just completely distinct, obviously, from another group of things and go, well, they both live under the sea and they're crunchy, so those are all one family of things. These are shellfish. It's like, no, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. I guess it's sort of like, we call some nuts and we call some other nuts, but some of them are like legumes that grow in the ground, and some of them are like the seeds of pit, like stone fruit, like almonds and cashews are the seeds of stone fruit. They're the seed in there, and the, not even the seed, but the unshelled section of the seed from the inside. And then peanuts, for example, are totally different. And generally, people who are allergic to peanuts aren't allergic to tree nuts, and people who are allergic to tree nuts aren't allergic to peanuts. Although it might be one of those things where there's no negative correlation. It's not like you're less likely to be allergic to peanuts if you are allergic to tree nuts, but there's no direct correlation either. Huh. I've never thought about the nature of shellfish in that sort of a way. Just take a bite. Sorry, back to the thing. Ugh. No, wait. I'll come to you, Uwu. Okay. I feel like there have been a lot of lines that have been like, no, I'll approach you. No, I'm going to be approaching you. And it just seems like they've been happening often. I love how you keep the head, keep us from seeing what the character's face actually looks like up until the very last potential moment. I'll move the table over to where you are. I know you can walk, but I'm still concerned about the wounds in your leg potentially opening up. Beautiful. Araki just wanted to draw some pretty food. I want you to taste it and tell me what the ingredients are. If there's any shellfish in it, I can't eat it. I'm allergic. It makes me sick. Oh. So I think they managed to really capture this in the anime, but this whole sequence is super, like, delicate and deliberate and slow and almost caring in a weird way. It's weird. It feels very strange to me. The fish is a white meat fish, probably halibut, and this is flan made out of mashed crab meat with sliced asparagus. I don't know what the hell his voice. There's no shellfish in this food. Suburashi. But wait a moment. May I have another bite, this time with the sauce on the side? I smell something in the sauce. It could be a cream sauce with scallop juice. Unfortunately, there are scallops in the sauce. Is your shoe size 27 centimeters, Uwu? I'm sorry, but can you stand for a second? You're about 181 centimeters tall, and you weigh about 72 kilograms, and you wear a size 52, and you use the second hole to tighten your wristwatch? Yes. Interesting. I don't think I'll be able to eat this food, but I'm glad you were able to identify the ingredients in the sauce. That means you have an acute sense of taste, as I do. 126 over 72, 92. Interesting. Father Pucci, what are you trying to say? And besides, I haven't seen my ability yet. Plus, I sense someone coming our way, closer and closer. I want to help you, but what can I do? Okay, so this makes it feels a little bit more clear to me. In a weird way. That Pucci is discovering that this guy is very much like him. Like they're kind of shockingly similar to each other in some strange sense. Why is that? Even the fact that he's got these weird hair ponytails is kind of reminiscent of Pucci's new ponytails, Pucci's new do. I wonder if we are going to do some sort of a weird body swap switcheroo thing here. There's something strange about how similar they're supposed to be. It hasn't come up in the stand battle or the interactions that they've had with Jolene and Hermes. It hasn't come up yet. So I don't know what this has to do with anything. Which makes me very curious because there's a lot of effort spent very deliberately making this clear to us. But then again, I sort of mentioned this with the spoon thing. Araki throws all these curveballs and red herrings into his manga all over the place. Interesting stuff that gets delved into that ends up being seemingly irrelevant to the flow of things. So maybe this is just that, and it's just trying to trick you. Just a little bait. I'm going to keep an eye on that, because I feel like there might be something serious there. Well, that can't be helped. It might actually prove useful to me. Hurrah! He's really close! He's around here! If you're still unable to see your ability, that can't be helped. Don't try to struggle against things which are beyond your understanding. To get to heaven, you must ally yourself with those unseeable powers. And besides, Jolene might not be able to find this room. Okay. I like that, and I'm interested in it. Don't struggle against things that are beyond your reckoning. Don't push beyond what you can actually accomplish or what you can actually understand. Just go with the flow. Let the fate and the destiny take you where you want to go. So this is, we talked about that just a second ago, this idea that maybe Pucci should be in favor of whatever happens because it'll lead in the direction of destiny. But maybe it's possible for Versus, who I just realized now because the bottom panel is Versace, for Versus to change destiny or change fate by not aligning himself with it, you know? If you do struggle against those things which you don't understand, if you don't just ally yourself with those unseeable powers, if you don't just allow yourself to go with the flow of nature, maybe the plans can get upset. I don't know. I ordered this dish because it said that there were no shellfish in it. Do you want to finish it, Versace? And we get the reveal. That's what we're doing here. I see. Dun dun dun. Oh man, it's gonna be a page turn to the weird finger thing, isn't it? Ah, yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's pretty nice and creepy. Pucci Shippu. I'm. Yummy, nom nom. I was shot. it was fun riding in an ambulance, but my daddy doesn't like me. The one who shot me was my daddy. The eyes are the eyes are creepy. The mouth is all contorted and gross. Straight out of the panel. Bam! Darling, what happened? Darling, Anata? Oh my gosh. Just a bullet fires out of a hotel room. A hospital room. What the hell? This room? What happened here? Where the hell is the priest? Get some help. He was shot. Call the police. Evacuate everyone from the premises. Someone in this hospital was shot. Darling, Anata. Doshite. Anata. What the fuck is going on here? Whatever's happening, I think it's safe to assume that whoever's with the priest is the cause of all this, but this doesn't seem like a stand attack. It's like somebody actually fired a shot from a gun. I've got a number of stands that cause actual bullets to be actually fired, or have something to do with that. All the way back to Jangali, right? With the Donkerdonk, firing an actual sniper rifle into his stand to redirect it in different places. I don't know. I would assume if I were Jolene or Hermes, I would assume that literally anything even slightly out of the ordinary going on around me is probably a stand attack, and we should be on high alert. Cool framing. Just looking at how it's exactly accurate. I wonder how he does that. Like what the process is. It's not super super complicated, but this space, this hospital room and hallway, right? You look at it in this panel, you go 2 panels later, and it's the same one in the top right. It's the same segment, same section, same space, same skylights through the ceiling or whatever those are, same exit sign, same door behind, same layout and structure and bones of the building, same place. So I wonder what the process is for that. Design a location, or perhaps just using an actual hospital that he's actually visited as the actual layout of the actual place and representing it as such. And who the hell was that guy who got shot? Why would he be the one to get hit? That guy was obviously some random dude sitting in the waiting room. No, wait, wasn't he the father of some kid who was brought to the emergency room? Maybe it was a test shot. But if they were just given the ability, they would need to try it out first on somebody. I have no idea what his or her ability could be, but if they were just given the ability, they would need to try it out on somebody. Of course, he hasn't just been given the ability, it's just been awakened in him. He's been living his whole life with the ability as though it were a curse, and then meeting Poochie, attitude shift to the ability as a power that I can use, and attitude shift all the way around to the ability is a power that justifies everything that I do and makes right all of my grubby, grimy grasping for power and bullshit and even betrayal of Poochie and all that jazz. Interesting. No, Jolene, stay away from that hole. Don't stand near it. Nunny. Some very, again, these like big dramatic stuff going on, but the face shots of Jolene and the face shots of Poochie and the face shots of Versace before all felt really calm and delicate almost. Like Jolene often feels very hard in her expressions. She feels really delicate here. Same with when she was being really calm and calming with Emporio. They just came out of this, everybody's screaming, rods are flying everywhere, people are dying, Jolene's on fire. Totally fine after that. Jolene's fully on fire, all this crazy shit is going on, and then immediately after that we have this moment where she leans down and gives Emporio the kiss on the cheek and is very, very calm and very delicate and very intentional and deliberate and sweet. Feminine. It's interesting. But then we're right back away from it, and it's insanity going on again. He's moving, the priest. He's in there right now. I can sense him getting further away. She reaches forward and bam! Listen up. I'm against it. You're probably going to say that you want to go in there, but that thing is obviously a trap. Don't go in until we can find a clear connection between this hole and the shooter guy's stand ability. Quiet, Hermes. Clack. Whip, whip. Grab the flashlight, shine it down. Huh. Someone started tunneling to the side once they dug deep enough. I can't see any further than that. The one who's with Poochie right now is called Versus. 25, male. He was here because he was wounded in the left leg. It probably hasn't healed completely yet. Listen, Jolene, I'm telling you again, I'm not gonna go down that hole. Wait for them to come out, or find some way to drag them out, like rabbits. I already know that this hole is a trap, but what if the priest is planning to stay inside this hole for 3 days until the new moon? Or might be planning to escape all the way to Cape Canaveral. He'd do it, too. In 3 days, Poochie's going to develop some new power that's going to help him obtain heaven. Right now, all Poochie has is Whitesnake with the ability to manipulate memories and discs. Yeah, that's all he's got. I like this. I like how fucking smart Jolene is. It's something, at least the way that it's represented in the story. And it's one of those things that, of course, you can do infinitely when you're telling your own stories. You've got one character who figures out the plans of the other one, right? And then because you wrote the plans of the other one, you can just take those words and put them in the other character's mouth and be like, wow, they're so smart. But Araki does a really good job over these last couple of chunks of Stone Ocean, I think, of tracking a clear improvement or increase in the thoughtfulness and strategic gameplay of Jolene. It's like she's playing a couple more dimensions of chess now, and is thinking a little bit ahead. I think it's cool. Poochie's doing the same thing, and so we've got this whole like 6-dimensional chess going on between both characters, and really that's a representation of like 60 chess going on between Dio and Jonathan almost. It's the bloodlines against each other. It's fate and fate. It's destiny and destiny, and the competition of stronger destinies. So it's pretty fucking cool. We can beat him in this state. That's why we have to do it now. To ensure that he won't attempt this again, I'm considering killing him. Hold this and don't let go. Huh? Hey, Jolene, what the fuck? I'm going too, god damn it. Was just saying, I'm definitely not going in that hole. And popping right out of the star. If both of us go, then who's going to be holding on to my string? Tie the rope around your body. When things get bad, I'll signal. That's when you pull me up. Got it? Shit. Jolene, this rope that you made, we used it to escape from the helicopter. But just how much of this can you make? A couple of meters? A couple 100 meters? Quite a bit. A great deal, but not an infinite amount. Ooh, a spoon. Rope. Reaches. Jolene? Huh? Hey, why aren't you answering me? Jolene? Yeah, she only goes a few feet away, and suddenly she's gone. Bam! I like we get these little lines behind her as though she just dropped into this space from above. That's so cool. I'm just gonna admire the moment. It's also a dope pose from Jolene and a cool face. She curves like paper through the 2-dimensional space. I don't know how he does that. Not to mention as always, the backgrounds are immaculate. Just absolutely perfect. Exactly what it feels like to be on a planet. It's immediately recognizable where we are. But the character art on Jolene, like, has multiple. Oh my gosh, I can't. It's hard to look at in some ways. That's really amazing. Her whole head is like a flat. The way that it's shaded produces this odd flatness to it that somehow has dimension. I don't even know how to describe it. Amazing. That does something really weird to my brain, and I really like it. Amazing. Huh? This place? Huh? Doo-doo. Hey, look, she came all this way, dragging her rope along. I don't know what this stand is going to sound like otherwise. So it's got the same symbol that's on his neck over one of its nips, and it's got that's the symbol of it's the rod of Asclepius, but with a cross, an X through it. And on the other nip. Weird. A clockwise spiral and another 2 odd symbols. Araki's symbology is always interesting, but I don't know what that is. She came all this way, dragging her rope along. I'll go cut it then. Ta-da! That's a very... The previous eyes that we saw way before I said was delicate feeling. This is not delicate feeling. It has broader brushstrokes and sharp angles on the eyebrows. It's amazing how much we can read just from the depiction of, even a partial depiction of the eyeline of a person. Nuts. Huh? Huh? Where the fuck is this? Hermes, I don't know what the hell is going on, but it looks bad. Can you hear me? Pull me up. Hurry, Hermes. He's going to cut the rope. Hermes, I'm in trouble. Pull me up. Another amazing pose. That could be a cover. Insane. Stomp, stomp, thud, thud, stomp, stomp. Oh shit, he's coming. Hermes, what the fuck are you doing? Hurry, you should be able to hear me. Come on, Hermes, you should be able to hear me. Hear me, pull me up, up. Hermes. Ah! She goes for it. Let's go. I love how much pull and how much motion and how much direction there is in just Hermes' stance there. That's cool. Ooh, shit, what the fuck is going on in there? She shouldn't be that far in. I don't know what's going on, but I gotta get Jolene out of there. What? And through the roof. Boom. Feels like we've had a couple of circumstances of characters moving out of other things, from hiding inside of different people's bodies to, I don't know, a couple of other things like that have happened recently. And it's cool. And it's almost there, ready to cut the rope. Hermes, more! You have to pull me up more! Boom! And right there. Holy shit, that was close. I welcome you. I don't care if you've come uninvited or without greeting me. You're free to come inside of this hole. That's what she said. But you have to have this entire rope inside with you, too. Oh, so it's actually seems to be pissed that there's something connecting her to the outside. It's breaking the rules. She's not fully in the space. I do think you're free to come inside this hole. It's very funny. Uriah! Stone free! Snap the rope herself. Fire the pen through. Super cool. Yeah! Hey, Versus, are you alright? Unlike you, who just developed a stand ability, Jolene Cujo's undergone severe training through her experiences in prison. She's much more experienced in battle. It's just like her to steal a pen from one of the passengers on the plane. Do not attempt to pursue Jolene any further. You did well, Versus. If Jolene wants to escape from this hole, then let her. She won't attempt to come back inside again, at least not for a while. All we have to do is hide inside here for 3 days. Can you hear me? Hermes, I see a light now. I'm probably getting close. Pull me harder. All right, Jolene. I can hear you, and I just saw you for a split second. Are you all right? What the hell is down there? The enemy is looking at me as we speak, but I also saw Poochie down there too. We have to find another way to get ourselves down there. If they'd cut my rope, it would have been all over for me. And Sports Max climbs his way out of the hole. Okay, so now that we know that this is happening, it doesn't have as much impact, but that was a good reveal, baby. That was a good reveal. An interesting, impossible thing happening. Hermes is pulling Jolene up on the end of the string. We know what should be happening here. She pulls up. We see Jolene. Everything's fine. All is well. It's Sports Max. That's fucking weird. That's fucking weird. Who comes up with that kind of shit? What a cool, like subversion of expectation. What a cool way to create horror here from putting the wrong thing, the wrong occurrence. That is not what should be happening. That was weird and gross. Fucking amazing. Tell me, Come on, Hermes, Hermes. How did you feel when you trapped me alive in that sewer pipe back in the prison? How did it feel to get revenge on the fucker who killed your sister? Honestly, it was pretty good, man. It was not bad. Sports Maxi? What is it, Hermes? What's going on? Ah, Jolene! The ground has a memory of everything that happens upon it, just like a tape recorder or a digital camera. It remembers the child that got shot and killed by his own father. It remembers. It remembers. What the fuck are you? It even remembers a bum who got trapped in the sewers, or even the dead passengers on a plane that fell to the ground 6 years ago on July in 2005. Hermes, what are you doing up there, Hermes? Let go of me. This is Versus's stand. Underwater takes those memories and excavates them. Bastard! Charlene! Excuse me, miss. This plane is expected to crash at... I can't even do the airline, the hostess voice perfectly here. Please remember to keep your seat backs and tray tables in a full and upright position. Keep your arms and legs inside the vehicle. Excuse me, miss. This plane is expected to crash at 9:33 on July 21st, 2005. Please turn off all electronic devices and make sure that your seatbelt is securely fastened around your waist. Also, the thing on my stomach is the head of the man who was sitting behind me. It's wedged itself there due to the impact. This! Alright. Yep, that's pretty great. I think that was one of the best things about the voice acting in the episode, was how perfectly in cadence the flight attendant's speech was. I thought that was very impressive and very cool, and adds to the horror of the whole thing. You talk about something totally horrifying in a voice that's like, please keep your seat backs and tray tables in a full and upright position. Remember to keep your arms and legs inside the vehicle at all times. This plane will now be boarded. Right? Getting that delivery just right makes the creepiness perfect. And the totally nonplussed by the fact that, oh, this is just the head of the man who was sitting behind me. Gross. Name versus. Occupation has never been employed. Physical characteristics, 181 centimeters tall, weighs 72 kilograms, which I think is exactly what the priest does. So that's odd. One of Dio's sons suffered from stress and emotional pain because of his suppressed stand powers, holds a grudge against the world and society in general, and has a strong desire to become happier than anyone else. Takes after his father in a couple of ways. Strong resentment toward the world and society in general. Yeah. Stress and emotional pain because of suppressed stand powers. Not so much Dio. I don't think Dio's ever suppressed an urge in his life, except for like 2 years when he was pretending to be a good boy and befriend Jonathan. Other than that, he's never suppressed a damn thing. I mean, he did travel around the world feeding on women and turning them into monsters and making sons with them in order to create this future, so great. Back in a sec. Thwack, 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 thwack. Shit, where is it? Look for the entrance, Hermes. It should be up on the ceiling. That's where I came from. Look for where we came in from. What is this place, Jolene? Is this a hallucination? But everything feels so normal. Yeah, it feels exactly like a plane. Because you're in a memory. I guess made of dirt, but it's a memory. We have to find an exit. Was there anyone coming to check the room with the hole in it? There has to be. Or the police or something had to have come. Did you see anyone? I don't know. But even if the police were to come, they wouldn't be able to hear you. Is this an airplane? I didn't see anything like this when I was going down that hole. Miss, please don't punch the ceiling. Please sit down and be quiet. Flight 2882 had left London and was heading for Dallas when we encountered some trouble concerning the fuel level. This plane will be crashing in 3 minutes. All right, then let me see the pilot. We have to land this thing safely. Take us to the cockpit. It's no use. We weren't able to land safely. We crashed. What the fuck? We all burned to death. When we fell, the plane exploded, and my body... Excuse me, sir. I thought I told you to turn off all electronics. Glug, glug, glug. It can't be. I remember now. Flight 2882 to Dallas crashed near Orlando 5 to 6 years ago. These guys must be ghosts. No, we're memories. We're just remnants of memories recorded by the Earth. What the hell? Are you trying to say that we're actually in the airplane that crashed, and this thing is actually gonna crash soon? Huh? So fucking mean. So fucking mean. And he's got such a the fuck you looking at kind of a vibe to him. It's so perfect. It actually even reminds me of like Josuke and Okuyasu looking down on people sometimes, just like, this fucking scum. It reminds me also of there's a line in a recent Kimetsu no Yaiba episode about like, oh, I knew a person who was just like you, who used to tilt their head and look up at me from below their brows, just like that, with that same kind of resentment. It's a different angle, right? It's looking down on you from above is what Araki represents here, but it's got that same energy. It's got that same "the fuck are you all about" sort of energy. You piece of shit. I'm so much just. Let me get my neck all up in position. I'm so much fucking better than you. It's great. It's great. I think it's amazing. Can't you speed up the process? I sense weather report nearby. I don't think he's near the hole, but he's definitely somewhere near the hospital. Shut the fuck up already. Stop confusing me. Jesus. Are you talking to me? Underworld's ability. I'm using, because of the similarities between them, I'm using sort of like a similar voice for the two guys. Not that I do that much weirdness for the voice. I have stuck with the same uwu Poochie. But yeah, sort of similar. I don't know what else he would be. Underworld's ability is to excavate the memories of the ground. The plane falls at a specific time, in 2 minutes or so, and please don't forget that I was the one who pulled the other one, Hermes, into this hole too. I did this all for you. Now just leave it to me. Yeah, I guess he should be a little clipped in his speech, a little pissed at fucking everything you fucking know. Whereas Poochie's a little more calm and pleased by the circumstances that are occurring. Hey! What are you doing, Jolene? Why are you touching that door? I can't find the exit on the ceiling, so the fastest way to take care of this is to directly attack the stand user. Hermes, hold on to my rope again. You, flight attendant, switch the settings on this door to manual and hang on tight. Huh? Wait, isn't it bad when you open the door when the plane's still moving? I mean, the airplane... Ah! Nice. And away we go. I was wrong. Do it. Use the air pressure and slam into those motherfuckers. Hurrah! Mayday. Crack. Mayday. It looks like I just got hit by a Meg. I can't control the craft. So I guess this'll go faster than I thought. Hey, who are you? Well, in any case, it looks like the back of the plane was hit. Can you go check how much damage was done? Just fuck. God, that's fucked. I mean, they did a good job of representing it in the anime, I think, but that's fucked. This! Wow, her arm is fully out through here. Yeah, that's amazing. Amazing. Whoa! What? Jolene? Crack! And the rope breaks. Stowed free! Officer McCoy here. We've just arrived at the scene of the crime. I have no idea apparently the police are also like the hospital workers. I have no idea what's going on. I can't tell how deep it is from the surface, but there's a large hole in the ground. Yoink! Huh? Jolene Kujo's skills have been sharpened in prison. I already calculated what she would do if her attack against you failed. This is why she left the airplane. She was waiting for the police. She was waiting for them to use the radio. So, really? Like, really? I mean, okay. This is some 5D chess stuff. And now she's going to contact her allies. That police radio can be used to call cell phones as well. Shut the fuck up already! Am I losing? Hey, Mr. Priest, I'm still winning here, aren't I? What a piece of shit. What a jerk. Range, approximately the whole city of Orlando, Florida. Fuck. It can remember and replay memories stored in the ground. For example, plane crashes of memory or memories of people who were just casually crossing the street. Versus remembers when and for how long an event occurs, and he can draw those memories out, like taking documents out of a folder. His ability extends across the whole of Orlando, Florida. Yikes. Man. He must remember so many drug deals. And, like, solicitations and, like, criminal activities and kids crying at Disney World and so many horrible things. Roller coaster crashes, tragic theme park accidents. all the good stuff. Although Donatello Versus didn't know who his real father was, he soon became sick of his stepfather, a man who blatantly favored Versus's stepsisters and did nothing but tell long stories of his womanizing ways. Alright, so that's pretty similar to some Giorno stuff, isn't it? It feels like it is. The same sort of stepfather. It actually does echo that story in some ways, doesn't it? Huh. Okay. Versus decided to run away from home. He was 13. He didn't have any money, so he knew he would have to go back home in a few days. But as he was looking for a place to spend the night, a pair of shoes fell from the sky. Clack! It was a pair of baseball shoes, and they smelled very good. He gazed up at the sky. Did someone toss them from the roof? But they looked so new. The size was 28 centimeters. They were too big for him, but he liked the clacking noise the spikes made when he walked, so he kept them on. It wasn't long until police cars came and he was arrested. So, this is pretty good. This makes me empathize with him. There's something innately innocent about that sequence. I think Araki does a really good job here of producing a seemingly innocent action that, in context, leads to a very unfair conclusion. It's pretty cool. The judge told him, "This is not a formal hearing. We're just going to ask you some questions, all right? Did you steal them?" Those shoes were Ichiro's shoes that he was planning to give away to children with disabilities as a gift. The shoes were given to Ichiro in 2002 or 2003 in commemoration of his single-season hit achievement. They had even been signed. Suzuki Ichiro played for the Seattle Mariners from 2001 to 2012. He was awarded these shoes in 2004, 2 years after this chapter came out. If they'd been sold to some baseball fanatics, they would have been sold for at least $10,000. The police had desperately been searching for these shoes. Versus, still just 13 years old, told the truth. They fell from the sky. The judge suddenly snapped. What a fucking face. "You should be ashamed! Stealing from less fortunate children! You need to be straightened out in a juvenile detention facility!" The judge found him guilty, only on circumstantial evidence, and sentenced him to 6 months in juvenile detention. Versus's parents did not object. Now there's the real villain. 4 months later, the real culprit confessed to his crime. He was a professional burglar that figured that he would be caught immediately because Ichiro's shoes were so famous. That was when he decided to drop the shoes into a ventilation shaft to be rid of them. When it was finally discovered that Versus had been wrongly condemned, he was already, in mind and body, too weak to even move. Twisted up. Oddly enough, there was a hole in the fields of the detention hall, and one day, Versus slipped. And right when he extended his hand to break the fall, he saw that a knife had been buried there, and he stabbed his own hand. That sucks, buddy. "What do you think you're doing, kid? I was hiding that knife, you know." That's what the guard said to him the next day. He was only 3 years older than Versus, but already balding and growing fat. He bullied Versus and often hit him. Even though his hand was treated by a doctor, 2 weeks later, his wound was still expelling pus and also worms. He soon fell sick with a high fever and almost died. Ever since, Versus lived a secluded life, trying to keep away from the public eye. One day, as he urinated against the wall began to crumble and revealed the skeleton of a long-dead woman. How does the worm out of the hand thing turn into... How's that related to Underworld? I guess it's just Underworld thematic. It's pretty thematically relevant, at least, I guess. So I'll take it. Yeah, sure. And now I finally know why my life's been messed up this whole time. My ability, Underworld. But even though I'm able to control this power now, am I supposed to thank Father Pucci for helping me? No. The blood that runs through my veins is Dio's. Pucci, so do you really think you're that important? Do you think I wouldn't stuff you up in that plane as well? I haven't failed yet. I haven't done anything wrong. I'm losing my patience with this priest. He's just like that judge who only values her own opinions. I'm the one who's invincible in here. Anything is possible if I use Underworld. Kink. And it's like a statue of Pooch. It's a memory of Pooch. What the fuck? How does he get the thing from the place to the thing? And then my biggest question is, when Poochie goes and checks for the disc that's like his, that he carries with him, it's gone. So like the actual one has been removed by the fact that Versus removed the one from the memory that's in the ground. How does that happen? I don't get it. I don't need to get it, it's fine. Why is he the only one? On the new moon, maybe I can acquire Dio's ability instead, and not the priest. I have the right to it too. I'm his son. But he thinks that Pucci's trying to acquire the ability of Dio? I don't think that's what Pucci wants. So we come back to what Pucci told him before. Don't meddle with things you don't completely understand, my guy. Don't fuck with stuff you don't know. If you do, things will get weird. I think out of resentment and arrogance and the belief that he's come to understand the world through having experienced a little bit of hardship, Donatello Versace Versus is going to fuck everything up for himself, at least. And maybe fuck everything up for Pucci, too. Really interesting. I have the right to it, too. I'm his son. It's almost like Cain-level evil and betrayal and hatred. Like, I resent Abel so much for being looked upon as, why is he blessed by the world, right? It's that old story. Why is he blessed by this shit? I'll kill him and I'll take his birthright. I'll take what he's got, yeah. Maybe I can... Alright. It's Weather Report's memory disk. Maybe I can use this? I want the ability to go to heaven, he says. And he probably, we can infer, has no idea what that actually means, because we don't know what that means. Jolene! Nuts. Emporio! Pick up the phone, Emporio! Hey, you! What kind of plane is this? How the hell do I get out? There's gotta be some way to get out of this thing while still sitting down. I've seen it in movies. Tell me how to do it. But I didn't try to escape. There's a button on the seat handle that controls the eject mechanism, but I didn't try to escape. I hit the ground before I could do it. That's what happened. That's why no one's going to be able to leave this plane. The button doesn't work anyway. And again, for a second time, we get this idea of like story dorida. It's the same sort of idea. The memory plays out this way. The story plays out this way, and thus it will again. And all of that as many elements of a bigger plot that says fate and destiny lead to Cape Canaveral. Pucci and Jolene and Weza and Dio and all these things and all the sons of Dio are all fated to come together. These events have already been foretold. They've already happened to some extent. Your next line will be, in some sense, in some real sense, it's like your next line will be. What's wrong? Why'd you call me so quickly? Emporio! Emporio, right now, Hermes is in a plane that's going to crash. The plane is in a big hole in the floor of the hospital. I'm flying in a jet fighter or something. It's going to crash too. Find a way for us to get out. Imagine getting a call like that. Hey man, I'm on the other side of Mars. I need help. Excuse me? What? I saw you 30 seconds ago. Father Pucci. Do we need Jolene's body? They weren't able to retrieve the pilot's body when his plane crashed. It was blown to smithereens. Hello? Calm down, Jolene. I don't understand what you're saying at all. I'm going to head to the hospital right now. Don't! Listen, Emporio, we're trapped in past events right now. This crash is already predetermined. The only way to avoid this is to escape, but I can't escape. It's no use. We have no time left. We don't even have a minute left until Jolene's plane crashes. Ah, that's rad. Different color palette. different shading style, different line art style, creating a very thin and almost etching-like look to Hermes. That's really cool. And then you get all of the lines of shading on Hermes's face go in this one diagonal, and then at this slightly different diagonal is the plane and all the speed lines in the background and all the lines of the people. Nuts. Really cool. And then, bam, cutting in is the time. Slam! Huh? Nani? The fan. It didn't blow up, Emporio. Even though I ran the jet into the plane, it didn't explode. Of course it didn't. If the jet hits the ground in the past, then it won't explode until it hits the ground. Until then, no matter what you do, the plane won't blow up. So you can exploit the fact that things are predetermined to ensure that things that would not happen otherwise will not happen, which is quite useful. Maybe. Jolene, I'm back. Emporio, what should I do next? Let's see. 6 years ago on flight 2882, there were 2 survivors. I'm looking it up right now on my ghost computer that I kept with me inside my pocket. You can't escape from that airplane, but if this really is an event that occurred in the past, if you sit in those 2 seats, you're going to survive the crash. Hurry, Emporio, find out which seats they are. Sasuga Jolene Kujo. She always finds a way to create her own path, even in situations like this. Let's see if you are also able to make quick decisions on your own. Versus, shut up! You think you're superior to me, huh? I found it! An old newspaper recorded the 2 seats that the survivors were sitting in at the time of the crash. Run, Jolene! The seats were in economy class, 51D and F. They're all the way at the back of the plane. It really did crash at 9:33. They weren't lying. All the way to the back. Running! Man, the craziest. We gotta get to our seats! That has ever happened. Shoo, shoo. The enemy's inside. He's trying to get to the seats before we do. He's trying to destroy those seats. 32 seconds until impact. It's not that big a deal. Oh, they changed that. They're not doing the font. It's not that big a deal. I just have to prevent them from sitting. Doing so would mean their end. What? Hurrah! Go, Hermes, protect those seats. If we can secure those seats and survive the crash, we'll be able to confront the stand user. We have to survive and beat the shit out of him. So I wasn't able to destroy the seats, but you'll never be able to get there. You only have 21 seconds. I'm going to repeat it again, just in case. The only seats that are safe are 51D and F. You can't sit in any other seat. According to the records, all of the other seats were blown away when that plane crashed. Those seats were lucky because they endured the impact created a vacuum around them. Once you get in the seats, put your belts on. If you don't protect yourselves with your seats, you're going to get severely injured. Huh? Move it! We're taking these seats! Same energy as Abakio getting up, taking the one sip of wine, getting up, and starting to pummel people. We just have this one moment of delay. Fuck it. Fuck it, we're gonna kill these people. Whoa, what are you two up to? Stop it! Shut up! You go away! You guys aren't even real! You're just records of who the survivors were! You're not human, you're not a ghost! You're probably alive somewhere right now anyway! Damn. Imagine somebody runs up to you and just goes, "You're just a facsimile! You don't even exist! Get the fuck out of here! You're gonna die!" What do you say to that? Fuck you! Jolene, it's time. Put your seatbelt on. Hey, kid, move it. Why the hell are you sitting there? Wait, Hermes. And his leg pops off. Nutty. Oh, I really like the 2 weird opposed angles that we get from Hermes and Jolene in the top left corner here. I really like that. It creates a texture to the frame that's really cool. What are you two doing here? This isn't my room. Where am I? It's time for them to change my bandages, and after that I had to take a nap and drink my medicine. From the ceiling? You two are. No way. They're not memories, and we're definitely not hallucinating either. I wouldn't be sure, but hey, where are the nurses? They're real kids. That bastard must have pushed these 2 down the hole. Thoof. What? I don't need to destroy those seats. Jolene Kujo, don't forget your seatbelt, but you're gonna have to move those kids out of the way first. Then you'd be able to survive. You'd save your own lives, but by the time you get out of that plane, You'd feel intense guilt for what you've done, killing innocent children just so you can live. You'd have to fight me versus with that heavy weight on your shoulders. Would anyone like that have the strength left to fight? Underworld isn't a physically strong stand, but it's powerful enough to kill once the enemy has been weakened in spirit. I love this. It's great. It's a classic. This is the Spider-Man dilemma, right? You put Mary Jane on one side of the thing, and you put the bus full of children on the other side of the thing, and it's like, you can't do both, buddy. Ha ha ha. And of course, Spider-Man manages to do both, or doesn't, depending on how the story goes. Story da. But it's a perfect type of dilemma, because what it does is it gets right to the core fundamental questions of your hero's heart. Your hero is fully dedicated to a goal. If they fail, they're not a hero. If they allow themselves to die in this circumstance and can't keep on and can't prevent the grand, broader thing from happening, they're not a hero. But if they succeed by harming others, if they succeed in a way where they turn people into means, not just ends in themselves, if they succeed in a way that is immoral in its actions, by a principled standard, then they're not a hero either, because a hero does both. A hero succeeds by just means to reach just ends, and refuses to perform unjust means to reach those just ends, and refuses to follow just means when they lead to unjust ends. Okay? All those things, it's like if you draw the 4-part chart for being a hero, it's justice in the means, injustice in the means, justice in the ends, injustice in the ends. And the only one square on that four square board is a hero, and it's just means and just ends. Can't have a real hero without both. So it gets right to the core of the question of the hero. Are you willing to sacrifice others to get to this goal that you know is more important than those individuals? If you are, then that breaks you as a hero in the first place. If you aren't, then you're a failure as a hero because you can't beat the villain. So what do? It's so compelling. It's so compelling to us. We love this shit. We eat it up like candy. We eat it up in the theaters all the time. Go watch a few action movies and tell me how often you get this kind of a gambit by the villain. It happens all the time. All the time. I'm sure there's a TV tropes page. I'm sure it's got a particular name to it. I don't even know what the name is. But this kind of gambit where it's you could save the world, but you'll have to kill this puppy in order to do it. Ha ha ha. Wah ha ha ha. Bond villains do this kind of shit. Superman villains do this kind of shit all the time. It's the best kind of gambit that you can play against a character that's near endlessly powerful, that has is invincible and all this stuff. You put a moral dilemma in front of them, and that's why we find it so compelling. It's because it ends up being a dilemma, even if you're as powerful as Superman or a near god, right? It's still a compelling question. It's a question of, well, how does an individual person act? How should that individual person act? And it really is the kind of question that we answer for ourselves in our daily lives all the time. All the time. You see a wallet on the ground, you pick it up, you don't see anybody near it. There are a couple $100 in cash in the wallet. You got a whole slew of options. Got a whole slew of options that just opened up to you. And what you do with that wallet determines something about your principles, determines something about you as a person. So what should you do? I don't know. Maybe you turn it in. Maybe you take the money and then turn it in. Maybe you just take the money and leave the wallet where it is and are the worst, right? Throw the wallet in a dumpster. All sorts of things that you could do with that windfall or that thing that you found, that occurrence, that sudden event that has dropped out of the sky on you. And what you do in those circumstances determines, I think, the nature of your being, the nature of your character, who you are. We make choices like that on a small scale all the time. All the time. The choice to waste a few minutes in the bathroom at work, I guess this is not as much of a problem because people don't work in offices or in physical workspaces as often anymore. But work theft, for example, doing nothing on the job. it's a micro decision that's like, do you follow your principles or do you follow what's expedient? Which do you do? Why? Tells a lot about who you are. And so, because those occurrences, I think they happen all the time in our life, and we have short-term gain or temptations that perhaps your overall goal is to be financially stable, right? So taking the money out of the wallet makes you closer to your overall broad-scale goal, but you sacrifice a small-scale principle in the interim. So do you do it? Which one outweighs? It's a real question. Man, you look at that wallet and you say, man, the utility of me having that money would be real good, be real nice. But what about the guilt and shame of breaking a principle? A theft that I know that I could rectify somehow. And you can make the circumstance more complicated by adding, adding elements or clauses. It's like, well, you know that the person whose wallet you've stolen or found is a bad person, okay? Or you know that they're exceptionally wealthy, right? You open the wallet and there's an American Express black card, and you're like, well, they won't miss the money. Do you take the money? Ethically, morally, no. But why? It's not exactly clear why that is. Because you can argue it from a different framework. You could say in a Bentham classic utilitarian framework, well, it'll be much more utility for me to have that money than it will be for this guy to have that money. Or you could say, well, what if I take this money and I donate it to charity? Now, there's an interesting one. I'm going to take this money that's not mine, and I'm going to use it for purposes not intended by its owner, its previous owner. And they're going to be really good purposes. I'm going to donate it to starving children, okay? Straight to the starving children's mouths. And it came from this guy who I know that this wallet is owned by a greedy corporate capitalist asshole who does all sorts of bad things, right? Who runs Nestle. Great. As bad as he can get. Would that justify it? Or is there something inherently different between... Is it impossible to argue quantitatively a moral dilemma that comes down to principle? I think that's the key, is that they're separate realms, that the utilitarian attempts to quantify morality just almost always fall flat because it's a different framework, and you have to accept the supposition that one moral action can be weighed against another in some real way. And I don't think you can accept that supposition. I think there are different types of actions and different types of goals and different types of overall aims, directions, purposes, orientations, and they don't necessarily all shake out in the same calculus. You can't put them all in the same number system. They need their own ways of thinking. And that sounds like a wishy-washy way to just be like, I guess you can't decide what's moral. I guess it's all just relative individually. Well, but that's not how I mean it. It's just, it intrigues me how many difficulties we get into, how weedy and dirty and grimy morality gets just a couple steps into thinking about it. It intrigues me equally how well Araki can put that stuff into his stories and make it make an interesting type of sense. Because the dilemma with the children being there makes perfect sense to us immediately. Immediately, it makes perfect sense to us. It's not quite a trolley problem, but it's close. This big bad thing will happen, and you could get through it if you just sacrifice these children. Yeah. Just break the rules. The unspoken rules of human behavior and morality. But we don't want Jolene and Hermes to kill these children. And they don't want to do it. And they can't. They actually can't because, well, he says they won't have the strength to fight. They'll be overburdened by their guilt. But I say they can't because they break if they do this. It breaks them as characters. They shatter. The whole identity of Jolene just falls apart if she's the type of person who is willing to sacrifice a trio of broken children to reach her goal. We can't read the story anymore. The story doesn't work anymore. It's wrong. That's interesting. I think it's almost universal. I challenge anyone to argue the other direction, that she should, and to believe it, right? Now you can make the specious, the vacuous argument and try to argue it through and be like, well, I guess if Dio goes heaven, that causes probably, that might be nuclear war equivalent. That might be end of the world equivalent. And so maybe maybe any sacrifice is justified in that realm. Fine, fair enough. But do you actually believe it? Would you believe in Jolene Cujo and Hermes Costello if they were willing to sacrifice these kids? Now, we didn't care about the adults. We had a reason not to. They're facsimiles of people. They're not real. These are real kids from the real world. They've been brought here by the machinations of an evil character who has put them in the way of our characters as hostages in order to cause this dilemma to occur, in order to cause a moral fluctuation for our characters, in order to cause them to waver. He puts something dramatic and interesting in front of them as a ploy. What do? It's his fault, right? It's his fault. And they could go through and say that and just be like, well, it's the villain's fault for putting these kids in my way. That's a villainous thing to say, though. And so, again, we just lose Jolene. We just can't have her be a hero if she acts like that. I find that really fascinating. That's yeah. Because you could reframe it. He says, you'd feel intense guilt for what you've done, killing innocent children just so you can live. So what if she says, what if we argue on the other side? We argue, Jolene's saying, I'm not killing them so that I can live. I'm killing them to save millions of other innocent children. Because if I don't survive this fight, Poochie's plans will go into action, and that's equivalent to the end of the world. Right? So that's a bigger bad by far, and therefore I can justify my sacrificing of these kids. Because it's not for myself, it's not for selfish endeavors, it's for the grand purpose of the world and fate and stuff, and preventing bad fates. Now we get into some scary territory. That puts us in some scary territory, because that is exactly the kind of justification that is used all the time for inflicting all kinds of harm on all kinds of people. Well, they're a threat to us. Or an inevitable casualty for the greater good. Right. So maybe there's something fundamentally wrong with that line of reasoning in the first place. And Araki argues, through his narratives, maybe there's something wrong with the framing, and you can look outside of that framing and use your individual powers to prevent such outcomes from occurring and find an option C when you've only been given an A and a B. And that's what our characters do. Are these your seats? Well, I'm not very good at standing, but I'm sorry. I'll try to get up now. Damn! It's time. 2 seconds until impact. 1 second. And now. Jolene! Oh my God, it's cool. I'm just gonna drown in this for a little while, thank you. All the paneling chunks all like vanishing point to the same place as the main panel here. And the speed lines on Jolene all vanishing point down in here. Lines across. Fuck. What a page. What a pair of pages. Good gravy. You win, Versus, but you sent 3 kids in there. You had 1 extra. Don't you feel guilty? No way. It wasn't my fault. It's all because Jolene used her radio to call her friend. They were the ones who found out about those seats. And anyway, I did this all for you, Father Poochie. Hey, look, Versus. The old man who survived. The memory of the survivor. No matter what happens, he'll live. That's Hermes' sticker. She split his body in 2 and put the children in there. Where's Hermes? Then where did Jolene Cujo go? Where's Hermes? Hermes, she hid herself inside the body of the woman that survived. Oh, that's crazy. Shit! Hermes! But Jolene is dead. There was no way Jolene could have found a way out of that crash. No chance. No. If I were you, I wouldn't take this situation so lightly, Uwu. You bastard! Whose side do you think you're on? It can't be. No! Ah, so cool. So cool. Re-raveling. Bam! And posing. And pose. And pose. And vogue. And sway. Jolene unraveled as much of her body as she could into string. Then she entered my body so she could protect herself against the impact. Yeah, that's why. Sorry. What now, Versus? Instead of weakening from the psychological attack, she's coming at you, even angrier than ever, with her sense of justice. Underworld! Bam! Stopped. Yeah, arg, ag. I won't let you dig up more memories from the ground. And now we finally got you cornered, Father Poochie. You want me to kill that fuck, or should both of us do it? It looks like you lost, Versus. Jolene Cujo's destiny was stronger than yours, it seems. Go, Jolene, finish that asshole off. I like that cut-in. Hermes' face is so great for these big expressive yells, and yeah, it's great. Right. Where's our reporter? Huh? Huh? My nipple is gone. Where did it go? What the fuck? What did he just do? Anyway, Jolene, just finish him off. When did you steal it? When you got blown away by Jolene's punch. Give it back. Hand it back to me. You don't know what you're doing, Uwu. Sorry, but I'm going to live, Father Poochie. I finally have control over my powers. Me, someone who's never been able to stand up straight. I finally know what I was born to do. You don't understand anything. He must not retrieve his memory, at least not for another 3 days. I can't die here. I have a right to be happy. Hey, what the hell what are you talking about? Jolene, just finish the fucker off. You won't be able to kill me. He's going to get his memory back. I know it. And when he does get his memory back, he won't be your ally. I know because I read his disc. Wait, is he talking to Poochie here? He won't be your ally? Memory? Is he talking about Weather Report? Was that what he threw? His memory disc? Weather Report wasn't put in prison just because he lost his memory. He doesn't remember how to use his stand to its fullest potential. The forbidden power that his brother Poochie thought he sealed forever. So, you used Underworld to read what happened in the disc. Versus! You're nothing more than a shack made of straw. Don't think that you can invade upon the fortress that Dio and I have created. Huh! Looks like he finally remembers. Look, here he comes. I love you're nothing more than a shack made of straw compared to a fortress. Wow. A rainbow. There's a rainbow. Which, by the by, Ronnie James Dio was the singer of a band called Rainbow before he left that band to join Black Sabbath, before he left that band to become Dio of Dio and make things like Holy Diver. So, there's a little bit going on here. And you have Rainbow appear in the midst of Son of Dio, Weather Report album Heavy Weather, which I listened to just a couple days ago. It's a pretty good album. Pretty good album. I do like Rainbow's albums a lot as well, and I like Dio a lot. The whole Holy Diver album and the other one with the Dio one are great. Really great. The Devil's Rainbow. It must be heavy weather. Weather? What's wrong? Where's Jolene? Why the hell are you curled up like that? Weather? What's up? What the hell are you doing? Huh? What are you doing? That's my seat. Hey, come on. That was my seat. Don't touch me, asshole. Don't make me kill you. And it's a very different face on Weather Report. Crackling of lightning. and an uncontrollable tempest in his eyes. Ooh, goosebumps. Ooh, I got wibblies. All right. Well, that's where we have to leave it off. I can't go any further than that, even a little bit. So here we are. Versus is strung up by his ankles by Jolene's thread. Jolene and Hermes are face-to-face with Father Pucci for the first time in a long time, and he should be weaker standability-wise, I think, because his OG stand has been messed with a little bit, so there might be an opportunity here. But Weza Reporto, with no idea where he's going to go from here, has just had his memories reinserted and remembered both who he is, maybe, but more importantly, how to use his stand ability to its fullest. And seemingly he is converted to a very different person, not quite whispering and soft-spoken, walking around on his tiptoes, but instead something a little bit more monstrous. I'm so excited. This is so cool. I'm also very glad that my hiccups subsided and I was able to actually go through and read this today. This was a blast of a section, and it feels like we're right in it now. We've got a face-to-face with Pucci. We're 3 days away from fate. This is incredible. I'm ready for the reveals on the weather side. I'm ready for the insanity that will come to pass as we move forward. And I know that I'm not ready at all. Let's go. Thanks so much for watching this episode of JoJo's, 2 episodes of JoJo's. I hope you've enjoyed the read-throughs and the talking and the fun and all the stuff and the Versus and the Versace and the weird philosophizing. I enjoy this shit more than anything else on the planet, and I can't wait for next week to do it some more. So I will see you there. Thank you so much for your viewership. You can do all of these things, and comments would be super appreciated as well. And if you want to throw me $1 on the Patreon, that would be amazing. Just amazing. So check out things that are linked in the description, and I will have to see you next week. Unless you're here for early access, see you next week for more JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Part 6, Stone Ocean, starting with episode 30. And moving into heavy weather and demonic rainbows. Oh, I'm into it. Peace.